On that note, you are now producer, I am presenting curator of the picks, and we are starting. Hello and welcome to the MMA Split Show on what is officially our new beginning. We were hoping it was going to be our last show. We had a couple of final little tinks and issues to get over, but our official producer of the show now, Josh, has worked tirelessly. He has figured it all out, and he has presented a fantastic package that we will be delivering the show in, which I am extremely proud of. And I can't wait. I'm delighted to be here. We got an exciting card to look at, headlined by the ever-entertaining Chito Vera taking on one of Josh's favorite fighters, Rob Font. It's a good name. Good names down the line as well. And we've only got to really kick things off with our main event. As mentioned, Chito Vera, he's been wanting that big fight. He's been moving up for it. He's getting that top of the tier kind of guy. Definitely, this is win this and you're in that title elimination kind of picture. And it's a really fucking good fight. Josh, straight off the bat, what's yours on this one?
Right off the bat, I'm a huge fan of both guys. This is an interesting fight. This is a hard one to pick. I really do think that... but I think the only guy that they've lost to recently is Jose Aldo. They've both got the loss to Aldo. Technically, Chito lost to Song Yadong, but most people don't really see it that way. They've both put together impressive resumes. It's harder to say like who's hotter right now, who's doing better. You know, Chito looked great against Davy Grant. Jesus, who was his last fight? I'm trying to think.
Frankie Edgar.
Yeah, Jesus Christ, the front kick KO. Oh my God. And Rob Font on the other ends, putting away Cody Garbrandt. He had a really, really good first round against Jose Aldo. Shows a lot of heart, a lot of toughness. I really, really can't accurately predict how this one's going to play out. You know, I think in my head, I figure Rob Font's just got the right kind of experience for these kind of fights. He's very good at changing the course of the fight. He understands when you really have to be the first to the punch, you know, and I've said it before, he understands how to steal momentum from a guy. This is one of those ones where you kind of think about it. Chito Vera doesn't really get bullied around. He doesn't really kind of accept people trying to fight him on those terms. He's just too good, too tough, too dedicated to the sport. I can't fucking break it down, guys. Your guess is as good as mine. I'm picking Font. But honestly, I couldn't tell you exactly why.
I think there's a good separation between you and I. Because I'm definitely picking Vera. I'm not even looking at the stats or anything like this. I'm going, right. Vera has, I don't know if you call it beaten, but he got a victory over Sean O'Malley. Even though that was like old school Sean O'Malley. He's got those kicks. He's got a good submission game as well. I just find it a tiny bit more all-rounded than Rob Font. So that's why, yeah, for me, Vera was my pick for this one. He's been for a while.
I love both guys. Love the attitude of both guys. Chito Vera is a fighter through and through. Doesn't take any shit. Full confidence. I feel like there's concessions to his two biggest wins. Not taking any way away from them, but obviously the Sean O'Malley, completely legit. He caused that leg to go, to go numb. But it is still an awkward finish. You don't really get a sense that you watched that fight and saw two guys, one best the other in that kind of sense. And the Frankie Edgar fight, Frankie Edgar's old, and I had him 2-up in going into that third round. Really, I kind of feel like the Frankie of 5 years ago maybe takes that front kick to the face. He probably still gets wobbled. I still think he survives and probably ends up landing a takedown and surviving and winning that fight. Whereas Rob Font went toe-to-toe with Aldo. It was really, really close. It was very much just that perfect shot that completely swung the momentum. He was still in that fight for various moments. Chito, I feel, kind of got handled by Aldo a little bit. And the only factor that I do consider is Rob Font, I think, is it's not that he hasn't got knockout power, but he will be a bit more cultured and disciplined and sticks with jab. I feel that 5 rounds is a long time for Chito Vera not to eventually get in close and land something mean. But I still feel Rob's better, and I think he's going to look at the Aldo loss, and he's going to be able to take a lot of positives and learn from what he didn't do right and adjust. Whereas I feel Marlon Vera maybe, and I might be wrong on this, but I feel like the Frankie Edgar knockout maybe he's given him just a teensy bit more confidence. Maybe that one was deserved under the circumstances. And that is me speaking completely out of turn. We are fat here. We are not experts. But that's the question I have with it. And in a 50-50, it's edging me towards Rob's decision.
What by decision? What did you go for, Rob? You go for knockout, Joel?
No, I'm going fun by decision. Yeah.
Can I just,
so I mean, you kind of make excuses for some of Rob's as well. You know, like he got like a sort of the kind of chinnier version of Garbrandt, possibly even Maurice as well. Chito's fucking tough, man. I just think it's going to go the whole distance. 25 minutes of glorious violence.
You're going Marlon.
I'm definitely going Marlon. I'm just double checking what was my finishing method.
Can we bring the
submission?
We're going to tell the tape up by any chance, Josh? The Chito and Chito on front. Give this a little testimony.
There we go, boys. Well, I'll have it set up soon so you guys can see what I'm seeing as well.
We're just trusting Josh. We're in his hands.
Just happy to get the audio working today. But yeah,
you don't.
Both guys, Rob Font's last fight notwithstanding, kind of found a way to kind of bottle lightning. Went on a little bit of a tear through the bantamweight division. Huge fan of both guys, and as we can see here, height identical. Font's got a slight 1-inch reach advantage, and Marlo's got 2 inches on the leg reach, which, to be honest, is quite a good advantage to have over Rob, I guess, stylistically. He's going to have a better shot at landing the leg kicks with like Rob's kind of boxing style. It's interesting.
Oh, he's going to slow him right down. He's going to slow him right down. Once he kicks him a few times, by round 3, Rob Font is not going to have any more footwork left. Like, if they get that far, Rob Font is going to be like in pain. He's going to be slow. His feet won't be moving because his feet won't be moving. His head won't be moving. He's going to get hit more. Yeah. And I can see Font taking this to the ground and getting submitted by Vera. So submission.
Bold.
Chito submission.
2 decisions and a Chito submission.
That's right.
Very nice.
Cool. Should we move on to the co-main? Is it a co-main? Have they definitely clarified that this is the order the fights are going to be in? Do you guys know?
Correct.
Yeah.
Everywhere I've seen it's the heavies next.
The heavy.
It's Andrei Arlovski. Of course, it's going to be him next. Like, man's the former champ, and
they do love putting him on the prelims, so the European fans don't have to stay up too late to see him.
That's kind of them. That's a great way to get them to not complain about it.
Oh no, yeah, it's like a deliberate move. It's not like they've been stiffing him and they've used that as an excuse. It's not like he headlines Fight Night prelims. He headlines pay-per-view prelims because one, quite often he's kind of looking down the rankings. It's just it's just what he's there for now, and I fucking appreciate him for it. And two, some European fans that have to stay up too late. I think they used to do the same kind of thing with Overeem and Bellator. I've heard Big John talk about it. They do the same thing with a lot of the European fighters. That's why some of my favourite fighters get put straight on at the beginning of the prelims. Of course, in the coming weeks, we've got a pair of European Bellator cards on, I believe, a normal European time. I'm fucking sad. It's going to be a good month, mate. This weekend's great, and then it's going to just kick off like 2 weeks of just madness.
Couldn't agree more. And this is an interesting matchup because we've got the heavyweight who kind of fights like a light heavyweight, and we've got the light heavyweight who's fighting at heavyweight and probably shouldn't be. So this is an interesting matchup. Josh, what's your thoughts on Arlovski taking on Collier straight off the bat?
Collier, fucking, he showed me something in that Chase Sherman fight, and I know, calm down, Josh. It's Chase fucking Sherman. I'm just saying though. He did look kind of impressive. I fucking love Arlovsky, but I don't know if he's ready for Jake Collier right now. And I'm fucking going. I'm going to put it out there. Collier's getting a second sub. He's going to turn it into a little bit of a thing. It's going to be Collier subbing people all over the shop. You know, fucking Aspinall did it. He's got a very slick jiu-jitsu game. But, you know, Arlovsky can be submitted. Jake's fucking huge. This fight's not going the distance. Knockout seems unlikely with Arlovsky's kind of savvy and footwork. I'm saying sub.
You were looking at this completely different. Like, the last 3 years of Arlovsky's career, minus, like, the Tom Aspinall fight, has been him fighting people like Jake Collier and being the wily vet who keeps getting it done. I think it's going to be the same. I think it's Arlovsky's decision.
Mate, Jake Collier is going to knock him out. That's my my thoughts. I hope it's a good fight. It could, I don't know. It's just sometimes a bit slow, you know. Like when you get like an old school heavyweight. Fuck it. No, Collier by knockout. No, no. I've already looked at it, and I'm almost certain. Although now that Josh has said that, I'm a bit scared. But fuck it. I'm ready to move on to Andre Fili against Brito. What are your thoughts on this, guys?
I do not know a lot about Johann.
John?
So I was just going to quickly say, because I did just pull it up.
Yep.
Despite being a former middleweight, Collier actually is slightly bigger in frame than Arlovsky. And we know he's coming in sort of 10, 20 pounds heavier as well. Surprising, but
Collier used to be a middleweight.
Yeah.
And now they're fighting at heavyweight.
Correct.
Yeah.
And Collier doesn't look like he's put on a good kind of weight.
No.
That's all I'm saying.
60 pounds of cake.
Cake. I love cake.
Cake's dangerous, mate. Okay. You can get checked neck from too much cake.
Cake. You go get cake for
Little Brasso reference just there for the old fans. And Laurie, who I know appreciates Brasso.
Hey, Laurie.
Let's talk about
Brito.
I know nothing about Brito. I know a lot about Andre Fili.
Okay, we'll talk about Fili.
Fili's good, man.
Yeah.
Really good fighter, but never gets past this hump. He's a 500 fighter that shouldn't be a 500 fighter in many ways in the UFC. Like, you see his boxing, you see the power that he's got. You hear what top level guys say when they fight him. What Max Holloway says, he's one of his toughest out on his road title. But he looks great in some wins, but grappling is always an issue for him. He just can't quite consistently stay on his feet to land his kind of offense. And what quite often happens is that he'll lose split decisions, he'll lose close fights, or get gun shy because he gets taken down a couple of times and is worried about picking what he wants to do with his striking. There's so much there, it just hasn't quite come into fruition the way that, like, I think a lot of people were hoping. And if you see some of the fights he's lost, like even people like Sadiq Youssef, really close fight. Sadiq ends up going on and becoming ranked, and he ends up taking that backward step. So, Josh, how much do you know about Johann Brito? Because, I mean, what this guy can do on the ground, I think it will affect a lot about how this fight goes.
So, came in through Contender Series. I can't really remember that fight. I don't know if I did catch it, to be honest. But he lost his debut against Bill Algeo, who is a good fighter. I would say Andre Fili's a better fighter. And Fili isn't amazing at anything, but he's pretty good at in all areas. Or he's got enough. He kind of breaks it down into sort of like those 3 areas that a lot of people do like to do, you know, kind of the stand-up, the wrestling/clinch work, and the submission game. And he's got limited submissions, but being a Team Alpha Male product, he has a nasty guillotine. His wrestling's better than people give him credit for. Again, been a Team Alpha Male for a long time. And his stand-up can be very effective. He's tough as well. And he's getting smarter all the time. He's really always just kind of been knocking on the door of relevancy, but never quite got there, you know? Hasn't had enough wild fights to be like a real big kind of underground name, not like a fan favourite per se. I mean, lots of fans will love Andre Fili, but he's not the first person you think of when someone's like, so who's your favourite fighter I haven't heard of? And I just got to believe he's better than Brito at this point. I think he's better than Algio. He's a decent fighter. He's a good fighter. Brito's no slouch. I only seen him really the one time, but fuck it. I go and Feely. I've written it down. I'm not going to change it. I'm going to go Feely decision. I'd forgotten what it was.
I'm going to go Feely decision as well.
Just create separation. I think it's a really close fight. I'll go by Brito by KO.
Strong pick.
Jared Gordon, the United States against Grant Dawson from the United States. I just realised this. Grant Dawson is 17-1.
And one.
Wait, what was the one? Like a draw.
Draw. His last fight.
Was it?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it was his last fight. And Jared Gordon, 18-4. Just looking at the stats, it sounds like Grant Dawson is going to win this, but I don't know much about Jared Gordon.
Is Jared Flash
Yes.
I'm pretty fucking high on Flash. Boy can grapple. I mean, obviously, Grant Dawson, fantastic grappler in his own right. Glory MMA, having James Krause in your corner, always fucking helps. Shit.
Yeah.
I've gone back.
He's very well-rounded, Grant Dawson.
What's that?
He's very well-rounded. Extremely well-rounded, Grant Dawson. The only thing I'd say, initially came into featherweight. He's moved up to lightweight for the last couple of fights. And it's probably a better move for him long terms of development and longevity in his body and all the rest. But he hasn't looked quite as dominant since. He had a really KO winner. Was it Leonardo Santos that he knocked out with like 8 seconds to go? Where the first 2 rounds were touch and go, he actually was 2-0 up, kind of weren't sure. James Krause said, listen to me, motherfucker, like, it could be 2 to you, it could be 2-0 to him. Fuck that. You need to knock this motherfucker out right now. And he did. It wasn't an easy fight. And then he had the draw against Ricky Glenn where he just looked like he kind of gassed a little bit in the first 2 rounds. So it's a really tough one. I'm picking Dawson because I really think he's got something about him and I like his coaching team. But Jared Gordon's a tough out, man. It's not an easy. And even though he's going to be a little bit taller, Jared Gordon's stocky. Like he's well, he's got a good stock for lightweight.
That's interesting. We get interference. Dawson by sub. It's my second sub of the night. I think
You're gonna get fat.
I just like the fact he's very, very, very rounded. And just some mostly time very well rounded fighter will take a guy where he's not as good. And I believe that here Dawson has got better ground game than Gordon, and that should allow him to get a submission.
Well,
Just on the board.
it's a different kind of grappler to Ricky Glenn, but Flash has got the same kind of strengths in his wrestling game. And I don't know if that's a good or a bad thing for Dawson, because it does mean he's kind of consciously deciding to take on a bit more of the same by accepting this fight. I reckon that's got to be a good thing. I'm going to go KGD by decision. I'm going to be more conservative.
Okay.
Slow. Yeah, but we're all in agreement there. We'll go with the young.
Alright. Darren Elkins is taking on Tristan Connolly. And I know that Matt's excited for this. Go on, Matt.
Fucking love Darren Elkins, man.
Go on.
It makes no sense that, like, you think very good, and then you look at the number of fights that he actually wins in the UFC. He only really loses to really good people. And even then, he will have an insane amount of strikes. The only fight I really didn't like from him, that I thought he just had no hope recently, was when they matched him up against Cub Swanson, because Cub Swanson hits like a fucking Mack truck at featherweight. And it wasn't going to work out well for him. This fight, I think, is pretty well set for him, man. I mean, he's a beast on the ground. If he gets you down, he can reverse position, he can tap you out, he can beat you up. And I don't really know if Tristan Connolly's got enough to put him on the feet. So I think this is a good fight for Darren Elkins. Josh, what's your thoughts?
It's like they're trying to hold up a mirror to Darren Elkins. Tristan Connolly is another insanely tough dude. Actually has a win over Michel Pereira, which is insane at welterweight. Um, it's got
That's
to be Darren.
nuts.
His wrestling and his submission game is going to nullify Tristan's. Like you say, he's better on the feet, and he's just so insanely tough and hard to wear down. Yeah, shit. I think the damage is gonna do it. I think he's gonna put a bit of a beating on Connolly, and Connolly's just gonna sit there and eat it all fucking day. So it's gonna be a 3-round decision.
Yeah, I think Josh makes sense. I think, Josh, you're right. 3 rounds decision. Owen Elkins, that's my decision as well.
I think we're all in agreement. We might as well carpool because we're all going in the same direction.
Ooh,
Right.
I like that.
The next event has got some guys with more complicated names.
Oh, go on, please have a go.
So we've got Christoph Jojko against Gerald Merscott.
Milshard, not bad.
Oh, yeah? I was more saying like a German meerkat, like a Meerkat.
I can see that. I feel that's one of those names that probably was pronounced differently back in Germany, but like got the Americanized switch around.
Okay, so just yeah.
It's not Birmingham in Alabama. It is Birmingham.
Right. Poland against United States. Both have just had a win. I don't know much about these two fighters, so I'll let you guys take it away.
Oh man, Gym 3's great. Gym 3, he's real jiu-jitsu guy. Not great on the feet. Tends to start really slowly. Winners, will lose his fair share. He's not going to beat any top-level people, but he's a tough out for anybody. Always good fun. Always in exciting fights. He's actually on a 3-fight win streak, I think, at the moment. Is that right, Josh? Since he got knocked out by...
You got knocked out by Chimaev.
Chimaev, yeah, Hamza.
I kept picking against him, and he kept making me look a fool.
Yeah, and a couple of those were tough, like 2 rounds down, needs to get something out of the bag, and he gets it done. Like, the guy, he's not the most physically gifted. He's not the best well-rounded fighter, but he's always in there. He's always dangerous. And Jotko, good striker. He's got decent wrestling. I'd imagine he'd be the favorite going into this. And problem with Milshard, he's really hittable on the feet. Really, really hittable. He doesn't move his head. Doesn't get out of the way. He's not a great striker. He'll engage a little bit, but it's not really where he's going to end things. But if he goes to the ground, Jotko's a problem. And I'm going to pick my heart on this one because I won last week's pick show. I'm feeling cocky. 6-4 on the bounce, getting a sub.
Yeah, I completely agree with that. I think Gerald Merscott will get a sub round 2.
Josh, what's your thoughts on this one?
So just right off the bat, I've brought it up. It was Bartosz Fabinski. You're right, it's a 3-win streak, by the way. Makhmud Muradov, which I really had to fucking eat my hat on that one. I didn't give him a chance. And Dustin Stoltzfus. So, apart from Muradov, it's not exactly like household names or anything, but he is fucking sneaky with that submission game. For me, these are two staples of the MMA UFC middleweight division, that you never really could justify being like a ranked fighter. I mean, Jotko's pretty sure he's had a number against his name before, but the guy lives just outside the top 15, same as GM3. It's kind of like, gatekeeper meets gatekeeper.
To be honest, it's kind of advised by how they have it.
Sorry, what's that?
Oh, yeah?
I was just saying, it's kind of a surprise these guys haven't kind of fought before, really. When you look at how long they've been in the UFC and kind of the level they're at.
Usually Jotko will get someone a little higher up, or he'll be a litmus test for a kind of better or a bigger name fighter that's coming in. And GM3 will kind of handle the B squad. So, again, it is surprising they haven't met before, but they tend to use their gatekeepers for other things. They don't tend to go gatekeeper. Neither of these guys are really, threatening to go on a big run. As I see it, just being honest, I think the UFC are trying to fill a card. We've had a few cards in the last month or so that, they're just. We had a co-main being fought by two debutantes. It's just not the deepest time of year. It's cool though. Next week's gonna be fucking sick. This is a good card, by the way, as well. This is a really, really interesting good card. But it's the sort of card that can draw together two gatekeepers, I reckon. You know, the matchmakers are just trying to keep people busy at this point.
Agreed. Okay, let's go down to the prelims. We'll run through these a little bit more quickly, partly because we don't want it to be too long in time, and also because I don't know a lot of these people. So kicking off.
Francisco Figueiredo, is he related to the other Figueiredo?
He is indeed.
Yes.
Younger brother.
Is it the little one or is it the big one?
He's little Figgy.
Little Figgy. And he's fighting against Daniel. They lost the last fight. They're both from Brazil. They're both guessing got good jiu-jitsu. And that's as much as I know from them. Fuck me, wait, sorry. Just a quick note. Do you know Daniel Certes has had many fights in the UFC?
Yeah, they both only had like one or two fights, I think. Right, Certes has had more, actually.
Yeah,
because the Certes...
2 or 3. De Silva had the loss to Jeff Molina.
Right.
So that's really all I've seen of him. You know,
I'll give you some interesting stat quickly. So Francisco Figueiredo, from the stats, if it's one fight, maybe 8 MMA, one fight, literally isn't hitting anyone. Like he's not even like hitting people like per minute. He's not even getting like two significant strikes in. Whereas per minute, Daniel Certes is getting absolutely most. He's getting like 8 hits on him per. So this is going to be an interesting one. The guy that loves to get hits against some guy who doesn't really throw much.
The only factor I'd say with that is like Malcolm Gordon. I think he got beaten up quite bad. So these things throw off the results a lot of the numbers. And he's only had one fight, so all those numbers kind of get skewed when it's only one sort of representation.
What's your picks?
I'll go to Seda. I'll go to Seda by... I'm really not sure.
Josh, do you have any more certainty on this?
No more certainty. I'm going to go Lacerda by decision.
I'll just... fuck it. I'll go Figueiredo by submission.
Okay. Now, it's not on the UFC website at the moment. The fight after this is reorganized Romanov versus Chevy fight from the previous card that didn't end up. So we've already talked about it. I think we'll just transfer our picks straight across, really.
Yeah. We'll go on Romanov. Are you sticking with sub or are you changing up to KO now?
I'm sticking with sub.
Oh, was he? Oh, that was it.
Yeah, I'll stay sub.
Same. Also, lock of the week stays the same for this week. Go back and watch that episode and like and subscribe. Thank you.
Taking us to Gabriel Green, taking on Johann Linus.
That must be a typo.
The name so nice, they have named him twice. We will call him, for this purpose, the White Lion. From Canada, which wasn't where I was expecting from that name. But, people be from anywhere these days. That's cool.
He's undefeated.
Undefeated. I want to know.
Yeah, no.
If that's right, I feel like that's the UFC website.
Pretty sure it's like 11-0, something like that.
Changes everything.
He's 8-0. Sorry. Yeah, 1-0. I don't. UFC haven't got his picture. I did just share it.
They will do this on this website. Like you will see guys that are completely incorrect or like incomplete fight records. Sometimes it's very odd.
That's why it goes to Josh, because Josh usually has a bit more knowledge than what the UFC website usually offers.
Yeah, I keep Tapology open as well. God bless you, Tap.
But yeah, I'll smash this one. I'm going to go for Green by submission.
I'm just going to go Green by submission so that I don't know, but at least I'm matching Sly so he doesn't go ahead of me in the picks.
Green's got super long arms. He's good at submissions. He's just won his last fight. I don't know the other guy. It'd be stupid to go with Linus. I don't know who you are. Josh, what did you go for?
I've gone Gabe Green. Decision. I've seen Gabe Green. Kind of like Gabe Green. He lost to D-Rod, but fucking it's D-Rod, so barely counts, right?
Okay.
Green by decision. Although
Right.
seems to have a little bit of hype behind him. I'm pretty sure it's just Linus the one time as well. They're doing our boy dirty here on the UFC site. I don't know.
There's multiple letdowns, it seems.
Right. Nathan Levy from Israel will be traveling to fight Mike from the United States. Again, I don't know much about these guys. I just know that Nathan Levy on stats looks a tiny bit better than Brendan. That's it.
Brendan has a bold name for a guy fighting on an entry-level contract in the UFC. Money is not his situation right now. I'm going Nathan Levy as well. I'll go by submission.
Well, yeah, Levy by submission.
Yep. Breeden's not that bad. Another Glory MMA guy. Gonna have Kraus in the corner. But I kind of like Levy. I'm going to go Nathan Levy. I've got to check because I'm going to stick with what I've written down. I'm not going to write it down a second time. Earlier, I felt strong enough that he was going to win by sub. I guess I'm going to stick with that. I'm feeling brave.
So we're all in agreement.
This Saturday will be a boys' night, but 2 girls will be joining the boys' night. Gina Mazzani and Shana Young. Is it Shana or Shana? Shana Young. Gina Mazzani. Both lost the last fights. I guess it's kind of like a possible to kind of stay in the UFC for both of them.
How about that for a cage name? The Shanimal.
Oh, the Shanimal. It's pretty good, eh? I think I might just pick on her name.
I like that.
I don't know.
Gina Mazzani, is that Tim Elliott's missus?
Yeah. So that's going to be back-to-back walks and fights for James Krause. I wonder who's going to get the better coaching. They both will.
So I'm gonna go for Gina Mazzani because she can take people down. She can submit them. And I think that that's usually a pretty good way to win. But I think Gina Mazzani is going to win this by KO. She's going to take her down and she's going to ground and pound for the KO.
I'm going to see Gina Mazzani by decision because I don't want early picks to be what fucks me.
Yeah, sometimes she does underwhelm a little bit. But fuck it, I don't see her losing this fight. I'm going to go Mazzani decision.
Right, cool. That's all. Yeah. Oh, yeah. There's the first fight on the card is Tatsuro Teda, who, from the stats I have, has had a fight.
Again, that is incorrect.
Obviously, and he'll be fighting.
It's 10-0.
Is it 10-0? Alright. Well, he'll be fighting the Cannon, Carlos Can Delario.
It is actually 8-1
in Japan, you know.
What?
He's kind of hyped up in Japan coming in, you know. People
what fight position is he from?
Shuto, I think. Let me look it up. But yeah, no, I'm kind of excited for this one. I don't think I've seen this guy fight before. I haven't paid enough attention. If I have caught one, but
Japanese singer-songwriter.
Yeah, you've
maybe a different guy.
There's no way you're the wrong guy. Yeah, Shuto. For most.
Yeah, I'm going to buy into the hype. I'm going to buy into the hype. Looking forward to tuning in early to check out Tyra, hopefully winning by KO.
Are you going to go for KO?
I'm going KO.
Yeah. I'm going to go for KO as well because apparently his last 10 fights, professional wins, he finished 8 of his opponents. I'm going to go for a submission though, just to split it a little bit.
Very nice.
Pretty much all of his finishes do come on the ground, be it ground and pound or submission. I'm going to go submission.
Yeah. All right, cool. I think that is all our picks for this week.
That is the picks show. A couple of other things to watch out for, guys. We have got a massive boxing event going on this Saturday in Madison Square Garden. First time ever 2 women are headlining a pay-per-view in the Garden. Amanda Serrano, Katie Taylor for the undisputed lightweight bout. It's going to be on at 5:00 in the morning, but if you're watching the UFC, it should guide you straight in. So definitely keep an eye on that. Before we sign off.
Well, it's should probably quickly bring up as well. We've got PFL tonight. We didn't really do anything for PFL last week. We kind of let that one slip through the net. Apologies, guys. But tonight is the featherweights and the heavyweights, and some good matches. Loughlin's fighting tonight. Lance Palmer's fighting someone interesting. We'll talk about it more next week. We'll do a little brief, little bit on PFL. But yeah,
Agreed.
And tune in. Well, actually, by the time this is out, it might have been last night. You might have missed it. But go watch the highlights straight after you like and subscribe.
Very nice. Please do like and subscribe to the video. Leave your comments. Put your own picks down if you want to be involved as well. Beat us, we will give you a shout out on the show. Great rest of your week, guys. Bye, Dave. Bye, Laurie. Bye, Trifo.
Bye, guys.
Bye, Laurie. Bye, Dave.